state sir.
Written, okay, contract.
Yeah, let's go look.
Contract.
Let's go look because you're having a hard time, sir. You're having a hard time. Can we go look in the state constitution?
I'm not having a hard time.
No, you're having a hard time. You're definitely having a hard time.
I asked you a yes or no question, and then you like.
Sir, you're asking me a yes or no question full of folly, full of missing information that I need to get to the people so they understand.
Okay. So you can't simplify
I can simplify stuff by telling you what it says in the law, but you're not giving me the ability to hurry up and show you.
So what you're saying, the law says all you need is a contract.
I'm showing you what the government swore not to interfere with.
Okay.
Do you believe them? Do you believe them?
So you're saying it's just a contract.
Do you believe what the government says? What they swore to? What they swore not to do? The state constitution, sir. The state constitution.
I'm asking you a simple question. I'd like to move on.
Sir, it ain't simple. It ain't simple because we're talking about law and everybody wants to see. Sir, let me tell you why this is important, sir. This is important because attorneys have allowed the people to suffer with having their businesses taken, which you said was wrong.
I'm not disputing.
Sir, no. And it's not about you disputing, sir, because I don't know who you are, but I haven't seen you out there teaching the people how to be free from government attacking them. So you telling me is wrong. No. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. That's a problem. Because if you're a man learned in the law, you have a duty to tell everybody else morally. So if you're not teaching them, there's a problem. So if you're not out here doing this, but you're an attorney and you went to school for this, you're not actively. You are the one who sells.
Sir, I don't sell
PMA. I don't sell PMA.
I don't have a duty to do anything.
You do have a duty.
I can do whatever I want.
You do have a duty.
What?
You do have a duty.
Why do I have a duty? Who says I have a duty? Is it in the Constitution that I have a duty?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, where does it say that?
Do the people not have allegiance to keep? Do the people not have an allegiance to keep a Republican form of government, sir?
How does that relate to a lawyer having a duty to teach?
So you lose your duty as one of the people when you become a lawyer? Is that what you're saying?
You're putting words in my mouth. That's not what I said.
You said, how does a lawyer? I asked you a question. You said, how does a lawyer have a duty to teach? You're supposed to be.
Where does it say in the Constitution that I have a duty to teach?
You're one of the people, right? Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 15, the Bill of Rights there tells us that the people have a duty to go out and disperse knowledge as quickly as possible in order to have progress and keep a free state, sir. For the people to keep a free state, they have to understand that they have a duty. In Massachusetts Constitution, sir, it tells us that the people have to understand that they have privileges and duties and rights inside of a political association, and part of those rights are to protect the republic, sir. So you don't agree?
I don't know. I didn't read that Constitution, so
it's rough. It's rough when that happens, sir, because the constitutions are where the fundamental law is based, and we don't know it if we don't read it.
Are you saying all we need is constitutions and we don't need any other law?
Well, sir, it's kind of deep that when the Supreme Court wants to make a decision on if something is right or not, they say is constitutional or not constitutional. It's funny they use the Constitution as a standard. Why don't you want to use it as a standard?
I didn't say I didn't want to use it. I'm asking, is that all we need? Just the Constitution?
Well, when it comes to the matter of rights of the people's rights are protected in the constitutions, plural, in the states way more than in the federal. So if we don't use it, we won't be able to stand on our rights, and then we get ran over like attorneys did us with, the lockdowns and stuff.
The Supreme Court has said that our rights are not absolute.
Well, the Supreme Court said our rights are not absolute in regard to what, sir? Because if you go back far enough, like Ex parte Milligan, you're going to find out where they say even in emergency, government doesn't have a power to interfere with the rights of the people. You go to the Miranda case. Okay, let me ask you a question, sir. So can a government interfere with constitutional rights, sir?
If there's a compelling interest.
So does the legislature write a law to give you compelling interest over somebody's right? Or is there a rule or something? Like, where can we find the power to do that?
It's in Supreme Court case law.
There's
It's
no
specifically
Supreme Court. Can the legislature write a law that goes against your constitutional right?
No.
No. So then what is the judge going to use? The Constitution? Does the Constitution say they can interfere with your right?
Well, like I said before, you have freedom of speech. Okay, you're gonna say.
You know what I'm gonna
You're
say because I told you already.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm gonna
Because
say.
of the public, right?
And it's deep. It's deep that you.
Constitution only protects the public.
Sir, it's so deep. You caught yourself with what I was gonna say because you realized it didn't work the first time. You know what I'm gonna say. And you're brilliant to know what I'm gonna say because you know it made sense what I said. A constitutional right can't be infringed upon, sir. Not by law. Courts don't have jurisdiction over it.
You're saying.
I'm saying the legislature can't write a law, or the executive branch can't make a rule over your right. I'm saying it 100% with all authority, like I believe it, and I stand on it. Would you say I'm wrong?
I'm trying to remember where I left off. What were we talking about?
Constitutional rights, and you were saying the court said the constitutional rights aren't absolute.
No, before that. Like I lost track. Oh yeah, the contract. PMA, to go in the private realm, all you needed is a contract. Because that's
not all you need, sir, but that's part of it.
Okay.
That's part of it. We can roll with this part of it if you want to. You need people. You need a common cause. You need people. You need a common cause.
Okay.
You need acceptance. Somebody needs to consent and accept, and then you need an offer.
So let's say you have a PMA and you have all those things that you just listed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, can I have 1 million people in my PMA, and will it still be considered in the private?
Sir, the Church of Christ is an association of God's people, and it has over 1 million people, sir. And yes, it can still be private, and you can't enter it as the government. You can't kick it off the earth. Ask the Roman Catholic Church. You can't get rid of it. You can't stop it. You can't go against their right to assemble together, period.
Are you familiar with the concept of intimate association versus expressive association?
Sir, in the constitutions, it tells us what's required.
Are you familiar with the concept of intimate association?
I understand what a bunch of attorneys come together and call intimate association or some express or if the entity is too big. Sir, it's not law. It's not written in law. You're telling me about a doctrine. You're trying to bring doctrines of men inside of something that the people never granted.
Basically, what you're saying is when you agree with the Supreme Court, whatever the Supreme Court case.
No, sir. See, you're messing up. You're quoting a doctrine, trying to tell me what the Supreme Court said over a doctrine that's not written in the law. Show me that. I will pay you $1,000 right now if you can show me that written in the law by a legislature or by the Constitution of any people in any state. Pick anyone you want. I'll pay you $1,000 right now. Constitution or legislature, intimate association or express, I will pay you $1,000 right now. You will never find it. Because just like attorneys with the Chevron doctrine, you're trying to pull the same trick. You're trying to open up something that's a doctrine that's not law and try to sell it to me. But I ain't eating it, sir, because it don't exist. Only power that's granted is granted in the constitutions. That's it. If we don't grant it, y'all ain't got it.
Why do you use Supreme Court case law at all?
Sir, I use only things that the people said. So when the people are smart enough to say what the Constitution says,
So whenever the Supreme Court says what the people say, according to you, that's when you'll use it.
Many Supreme Court cases have nothing to do with what the people say. It could be an administrative argument with Biden and Trump. That ain't got nothing to do.
If it's not what the people say, then you're.
If it's administrative, sir, and just the business of the state, I don't give a freak, and nobody else should. I don't care about that. So it has nothing to do with our rights.
You decide when you use Supreme Court.
No, the Constitution decides what the people said, and I'm going to roll with the Constitutions all day and night.
You decide when you think the Constitution is represented.
No, sir. I will take you to what I say in all the Constitutions all day and night. I guarantee you can't. It won't happen. I can take you to the source of what I'm saying I just did it with the private Article 2, Section 8 of
don't-
Arizona
I
Constitution.
don't read old constitutions or state.
I'm sure you don't. But the constitutions. This is why. This is what. Hold on,
The
sir.
only thing I go by. The only thing I go by is Supreme Court case.
And that's a bad problem, sir. Because what happens with the Supreme, sir?
Because when
if
you go
you
to
say that
court-
you only go by the
when
Supreme
you
Court
go to
cases,
court-
you already messed up because you don't know what the freak the people said. You don't know the standard. The standard is what the people wrote in the state constitutions and the
No.
federal.
And if the people disagree, then
It ain't got nothing to do with the people disagreeing, sir. It's written in writing. How they gonna disagree out the writing? Come on now, let's think about this. How the freak do you disagree and remove what's written, sir?
Okay.
It's been there for hundreds of years.
Roe v. Wade. Let me give you an example. Roe v. Wade was overturned, right? And now abortions.
Whoa. Start with Roe v. Wade. What was the pleading, sir?
overturned.
What was the argument of the person in the pleading? Let's get this straight. Because you're trying to run to it being overturned. You didn't even say what the person argued in their pleadings in the first case. So did they use constitutional law or did they use something else? What did they use? See, the reason Roe v. Wade got overturned, wasn't it because it was found that something wasn't constitutional in the other one? So let's go back to the first one before you start talking. See, this is how attorneys get people messed up. They say, yeah, in the way back in 1905 Jacobson case, it said you could be forced to get a shot, and Dershowitz goes out and says that garbage. And then you open up the case and it says the guy tried to make an argument about the 14th Amendment, and the judge said the absolute right to not be forced to get a vaccination does not import into this case. He didn't say it don't exist. He said it does not import because the guy went to the wrong place, because the First Amendment and the 14th Amendment say nothing about a right not to have your private health interfere with. That would be in the state constitutions. The guy was too dumb to know, where his attorneys, or they played around and just messed up. But the reason that...
So now after Roe v. Wade was overturned, now all these states, or some states, are banning...
I don't keep up with it. I don't even really care. I know it's wrong to murder. I know it's wrong to kill. I know it's wrong to take another life. I don't give a freak about all that.
Okay. So some states are banning abortions, but can I make a PMA so that people can have abortions?
Sir, I just told you that if you interfere with the public is where things go wrong.
No. Why would I interfere? This is a private organization.
You want to know why? You want to know why you're interfering with the public, sir? Because you can't kill people. Why? I just told you that. You can't harm people. You can't freaking harm somebody inside of your stomach and say this is private.
I think, let's say 50% of the people out there are pro-choice.
Sir,
right?
I don't care about what people are. That's opinions. I don't care about what people say. That's opinions.
Yeah,
when somebody dies, sir,
50% of the people,
sir, I don't care. I don't care about, sir. That has nothing.
You don't care about the people.
No, because that has nothing to do with law. That has nothing to do with law. People's opinions have nothing to do with law. Some people want to go.
How can you say everything is opinion? What are you talking about?
No, it's not.
Everything is a person's opinion.
There's stuff that's written, sir. There's stuff that's written in historical usage. If a man comes up and punches a woman in the stomach who's pregnant, and kills her and the baby, he gets double murder charges. That's common law, sir. Double charges.
Okay,
he killed 2 people.
In the case of abortion,
they kill somebody.
So you're killing somebody. Okay.
Yes,
but
you
then
are.
There's 50%.
Sir, you're talking to me about an ideology.
No.
Okay.
I'm telling you that. Let's say
you're trying to use an opinion and emotional argument when you're talking to somebody who deals with law.
No, you're also every time you talk about how the
are they killing a baby? Yes or no? Are they killing a baby? Yes or no? Sir, are they killing a baby?
Because the government's so corrupt, we can just be in private.
Sir, to kill
whether the government's corrupt or not. It's completely irrelevant.
Sir, to kill a baby, sir, do you have to kill something in an abortion?
I'm not pro-abortion.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're pro-abortion or not, sir. It doesn't matter. I'm just asking you a fact. When you do an abortion, are you trying to kill something or are you trying to let something live?
Yes,
sir,
you are killing a baby. Yes,
okay, so you're killing something, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to kill something because it's alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're killing someone who didn't harm you, sir, under the common law, ain't that wrong?
So you're saying in a state where
I ain't say nothing about a
abortion
state,
is
sir.
legal?
I ain't say nothing about a state.
Okay,
You keep saying you're saying.
where-
You keep saying you're saying,
okay.
and I'm gonna object to that because I ain't say
okay,
that.
okay. In a state where abortion is legal, is it okay?
Sir, what is legal? Somebody wrote a statute? Is that what you're saying?
So you're saying legal, lawful.
If they write a statute to say you can rape babies, sir, if they write a statute that says you can rape babies, is that lawful, sir? Is that following the law of God? Is that the common law, sir? Are we a people that let you rape babies?
That's completely irrelevant.
No, it's not. It's law, sir. It's common law. Can you rape babies if a dumb legislator writes a statute, sir?
It's irrelevant to what I'm talking about.
No, it's not. It's not. It's exactly what we're dealing with. You just said it's legal in the state. Can you show me a constitution that said that the people can kill babies?
No.
No. So if you aren't granted the power to kill babies in the Constitution, and the statutes are made in pursuance of the Constitution, where the freak do you get the right to kill the baby in the dang statute? It's granted authority, sir. You have one level of authority that's a general power. The statutes are specified power that's derivative of the general power. If we never told people to go killing people in the general power, how in the world are they going to make a statute that gives them the permission to kill a baby?
Abortions are unlawful.
Yes. It's killing for no reason.
Abortions are unlawful. So everyone that has an abortion should go to jail.
Everybody who has an abortion is going against God. And the common law is based on Christianity, sir. God never told you to kill your babies. Actually, as a matter of fact, he hated it in the Bible. And in our country, it was never looked at as good to kill babies.
In your opinion, people who get
it's not about my opinion, sir. It's about what's written. It's not written anywhere that anybody can write that you could go kill an innocent person. It doesn't exist. And it's wrong. I believe it's 100% wrong. Say it again.
Do you have an opinion?
My opinion is if you had an abortion, you better repent because God is not happy and he don't like that you did it. You should never do it again. You got a precious soul inside of you. You don't have to get rid of it. You can nurture it and make somebody who's going to be powerful in this world. There's a lot of people who parents wanted to kill and get rid of. Some people even went through through abortions and almost died, and they lived and they became powerful people in this world. There's one lady who goes around and speaks all the time who got burned by acid.
So you're saying I can create a PMA to share weed, but I can't.
Weed isn't wrong, sir. Sir, marijuana isn't wrong, sir.
Why? I don't understand why.
Okay, in what state constitution does it say that the government has the power to stop people from having a plant, sir?
I don't know why you're asking this.
Because everything is based on what's written, sir. Wait. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Sir,
you don't answer any of my questions.
Sir, you have to.
You talk about like a million other things.
I explain things in detail because that's how people learn, sir. See, attorneys will say yes or no and leave out a lot of the facts. I put the facts in there so everybody learns because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to just love myself. I'm not here to just do what I want to do. And I'm not an attorney that doesn't have a duty to teach people. I teach people.
We can just contract to be exempt from all
Sir, this is the problem. You think that we're bound by stuff that we're not bound by. We don't have to be exempt to what don't apply to us.
We don't even need to contract. You're saying I can just unilaterally by myself declare I'm not.
Let me just make this easy. Let me just make this easy for you. Are there constitutional rights, sir, that the government can't touch?
I just told you, our constitutional rights are not absolute.
Okay, so let me show you something. Because you're saying this, but I don't think you're using the law. So I'm going to show it to you. Here we go.
I'm using Supreme Court case opinion.
I don't care what you say you're using, sir. I'm using what's written in the law that the people can see and understand. Right here, it says constitutional right. A right guaranteed to the citizens by the Constitution and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therewith. The legislature can't even write a dang law to interfere with your right, and you're trying to tell me how how it's okay or the law ain't absolute? If it's guaranteed, sir, what does that mean? What does guaranteed mean, sir? No, no, sir. Let's stop with the let's say. What does guaranteed mean? Please explain to me. Does it mean does guaranteed mean not guaranteed sometimes, sir? What does guaranteed mean? I just read to you from the law book.
I get what you're saying.
No, not you get what I'm saying, sir. What does guaranteed mean? Because if the government swears that they're not going to interfere with something in order to get a job, sir, and then they run away from what they swore to do. Say it again.
I think you know the definition of guaranteed.
I do know the definition of guaranteed, but I need to know if you know, because in the states, the government swore and guaranteed that they were never going to interfere with your rights if you give them a job. And then they get into some power and got some police officers with guns, and then they think they're going to come and just say, well, we're going to just do whatever we want to do to you because those rights aren't absolute that we guaranteed we wouldn't touch. Sir, that's bull.
All right.
That's bull. That's bull.
Let's say, do you know the case Roberts versus United States JC?
I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of cases, and I'm definitely not going to memorize them by name.
So this is a landmark case when it comes to freedom of association. Like, it gets cited many, many times. Anytime there's anything that has to do with freedom of association, oftentimes they will cite Roberts versus United States JC. You should read it. Now, in that case.
Wait, let me ask you this. Why should I read it, though, if I'm telling you I don't use cases like that, I use what the Constitution say?
Don't read it.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you because I just showed you.
Know what the Supreme Court did. That way you might. So you want to know what these people are thinking, right? When you go to court, don't you want to know what the judge is going to think?
Can I tell you the honest God truth, sir? Can I tell you the honest God truth? I don't care what the judge thinks because the law is not based off of what the judge thinks. The law is based off of what's written. So when I go back and I get all the maxims.
So do you think that the judge does not go by the Supreme Court case opinion?
I think that the judges go by what's written in the pleadings and they can't add or take away. That's what I think.
So they will go by Supreme Court case.
No, they go by what's in the pleadings. If you don't bring up something in the pleadings, then they don't add it.
Yes, that's the facts. But for the law to interpret how the law should be applied.
Sir, if you don't bring up the law.
So you're saying okay. You're saying judges will not use Supreme Court case.
Okay, so for a long time, sir, they allowed the ATF to steal guns from people and put people in jail because nobody brought up the actual law. And then recently in the Bruin situation, somebody brought up the real law and the judge is like, woohoo, I get to punish people. And now the Supreme Court is going after multiple cases, drawing them in and punishing attorneys across the nation.
Why do you know so much about this case, but you don't
because I wrote notices to the government to tell them that they can no longer do this. And then I got online 2 weeks ahead of time and told people, let's get together. We're going to send thousands of these notices to the Supreme Court. And you're going to see within 2 weeks to a month, they're going to jump up and start taking cases. Nobody's going to understand why. And they're going to follow the actual law this time because the people are bringing up the law. Watch they go get cases for this. And then they did it. And I said it 2 weeks ahead of time. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. You can challenge me on it. You can see the video on my page and you can ask hundreds of people who took part in it. I put the law in the case and sent it to the judges to tell them what to do with the real law. You might think it's funny, but we did it with thousands of people. We also did it with OSHA with 6,000 people. And we also did it when Gorsuch, I can't remember the date, but Gorsuch came out and started telling about how they weren't following the law and they were allowing bureaucrats to come in and make up law and how they've been tipping their hand against the people for bureaucrats and agencies and that they shouldn't do that and they're not running real courts of record. We did all those notices, sir, and I told people ahead of time what was going to happen. So I didn't guess. And you can say I didn't have anything to do with it. You can say that. But I told people ahead of time exactly what was going to happen weeks or a month in advance before they said exactly what we said. I told the government what the law is. So that's why I care about that case, because we actively went after the government to let them know what was going on. Jim Jordan and them. We also went after the FBI before the FBI started getting called in. We told them I can show you the notice where we told them to impeach Mayorkas, and you can freaking see that people in my group wrote it. You can see the day it went out. You can see the jot forms, and you can see them impeach Mayorkas 2 weeks, put in documents to impeach Mayorkas 2 weeks to a month after, exactly to the people we gave it to. I put in notice to to Arizona legislature and to the board of supervisors, and the one board of supervisors we sent it to, because I didn't send it to everybody because I knew people would say you didn't do anything if you sent it to everybody. So I sent it to one. The very one we said come out and say something came out and asked for the audit. We did it in the Senate. The very one we sent it to in the Senate did the audit for Arizona. And I told people it was going to happen ahead of time. I told people that we were going to get the audit on November 5th, and I'm on video telling people we didn't get the audit until next year. So every single time I tell people something ahead of time, I know that I'm going to get these guys who doubt and got all this stuff to say. So I come out boldly, put myself in front of everybody and say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to get. You could go look on my Rumble right now once you get off this call, and you can see me on November 4th or 5th in front of the MTech Center with a blue long sleeve shirt on with a microphone telling people how we were going to get the audit, what we were going to use with affidavits, and that the rest of the nation was going to follow. You could go see, and then you can see Karen Fann came out herself, the Senate president, and told that I got the audit. So I'm not guessing here. I know what the law is. I don't give a freak about what the court says. Let me explain this real quick, and I'll give you the floor. The courts in Arizona and the attorney said that there was no way to get an audit. There's no remedy. It doesn't exist in the statute. I used Article 7, Section 7 from the Constitution only, 127 affidavits, and the Mason's Manual of Legislative Procedure, which deals with common law that the legislature already used that the attorneys didn't know about, even though they got the book in front of them, showed them how to get investigative subpoenas, and Karen Fann did it, and that's how we got 2 million ballots, and the only audit in history. So I don't give a freak about what a judge has because people lost with judges with all the stuff before me, and then I did it after I told them I was going to do it. So I'm not guessing, sir. I don't care what a court says because courts do stuff wrong because attorneys got taught wrong, and they've changed law definitions. In the freaking same book, they changed the definition between the volumes and removed parts of the information out of the dang the dictionary. How the freak do you do that? How do you reduce definition?
Does this case have to do with being private?
What case? The Bruin case? The Bruin case, sir, has something to do with the people having a right in their private affairs because they're not in the public, sir. The public and commerce and
if the court didn't have jurisdiction, why did they decide in your favor? How did they make a decision if they don't have jurisdiction?
What do you mean, sir? When somebody's right, I just told you earlier, when somebody tramples your right or harms you, you get jurisdiction. You can confer your jurisdiction to the court by telling them to let them decide if the person did you wrong. You can confer your jurisdiction to a police officer and say, hey, go grab him. He shot me. That's how you get into the court.
According to you, jurisdiction depends on if you get hurt or not, or someone gets hurt.
Jurisdiction is juris, law, or right, diction, words. If the words were granted in a constitution or a document to tell what your powers or rights are, or in the common law, and somebody infringes upon that right, you get jurisdiction over them. So when somebody punches you, you can punch them back because you now have jurisdiction over them because they're harming you. If a police officer...
I linked you a court website that described jurisdiction, right?
Described or defined it?
Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
What's the difference?
Definition is telling exactly what something is. Describing it is giving attributes that something has or characteristics. That's not the same. Jurisdiction can be defined, or you can describe kind of like what it is.
Whether you say whether it's described, defined, whatever you want to call it, it lays out personal jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction. That's how the court defines it.
That's how the court describes it or defines it. Can you show me the court giving a definition? Or are you gonna just tell me they kind of explain it? Because courts don't always use the law. So show me the definition of jurisdiction.
This is how the courts will define jurisdiction.
Sir, the courts defined that somebody had a right to kill a baby and then they realized they were wrong. The courts came out and said that you let ATF go take guns, and the court kind of said that it's okay for ATF to make up the law as they go.
But the court ruled, you said the court ruled in your favor in the end.
No, sir. I said the court followed what the people said, what was written, what was in the notice.
So that's when you agree with the court.
I agree with the court when they do it right. Does the maxims of law say you should? The maxims of law themselves say that a judge that makes a judgment outside of his jurisdiction should be ignored. A judge making a void order should be ignored.
You decide when to ignore it.
We the people decide when we write the state constitution, sir.
You're the people, right? So you get to decide.
We the people wrote it. So why wouldn't we?
You're the people,
why wouldn't
so
we?
you get to decide.
Didn't we the people write the constitution, sir? Did an alien write it? Who wrote the constitution? Sir, who wrote the state constitutions? Let me make sure you know. Who wrote the state constitution, sir?
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know who wrote the state constitutions, but isn't it the fundamental law, sir? Doesn't it create the state? You can't have a state without a constitution, right?
The Constitution is so that
Not the constitutions, plural.
Our rights are granted to us by God, right? I'm sure you agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Endowed to us by the Creator, certain inalienable rights, and then governments are instituted to secure those rights.
Okay, so who creates government, sir?
The people.
Okay, so who writes the Constitution, sir?
You could say the people, because
you can't say the people. It is the people, sir. It is the people. It's so hard for an attorney to just say the people write them. Why can't you just say it? You know the people wrote it. Did the bar association? Did the bar association? Wait, sir. Did the bar association write the United States Constitution, sir?
How is this relevant?
It's very relevant.
Are they not people?
No, it's a private association, sir. It's separate. It's foreign to the people.
Oh, so if you're private, then you're not people?
It's foreign to the people. It's a foreign entity, sir.
So if you're a private association, you're not part of the people?
No, that's why you're not in the public, sir. As if you act as a person in a private association, you're foreign.
So when you're in the private, the Constitution doesn't apply to you?
Sir, are you able to practice law as an attorney when you're not a government officer?
The Constitution is only public. So when you're in the private, does the Constitution not apply to you anymore?
You're an attorney in a private association. Does the Constitution stop you from...
Answer my question. You said Constitution is only public law. Is that what you're saying?
The Constitution creates the state. The state is political. And I said the Constitution is Republican in form, meaning it only deals with public affairs. Republic actually means public affairs. That's what it means. That's why I wanted to take it to you earlier, because I knew you were going to go down this road. I wanted to show you in the beginning.
I don't know. Did you answer my question yet? I still don't know.
Yeah, I just answered your question. The Constitution deals with the public. That's exactly what I just did.
And the people wrote the Constitution.
Yes, the people wrote the Constitution. I'm going to show on the screen, though, just so everybody can see.
But when you're in the private...
Hold on, sir. Let me show the people real quick so the people don't get lost. Right here, it says Republic. A commonwealth. It says a commonwealth, that form of government in which the administration of affairs is open to all the citizens. All the citizens. Open.
So this is, okay. So
that's the Black's Law Dictionary, sir.
The Constitution was written by the people for the public, to regulate the public.
Yes. Because does the Constitution tell you what you can do in your house, sir? Hold on, wait. Does the Constitution tell you what you can do in your house, sir? Does the Constitution tell you how many times a day you can have sex with your wife? Does the Constitution tell you what food you can eat? What time you can go to bed? It doesn't control the private. Okay. It doesn't.
So when you're in the private, there's no public law that applies to you.
Public law doesn't apply to the private because it was only granted to deal with the public. Republic means public affairs. The people grant servants to handle their public affairs like marriage certificates and roads and public health and welfare. Public, not private health and welfare. The private health and welfare, you see in the state constitutions, it says the people have the right to take care of their private affairs, their health, their happiness, their security, their safety. The government doesn't have the ultimate right, sir. They're just servants. Do you disagree?
keep losing track of what you're saying.
Okay, can you show me any constitution in the whole country that says the people shall? Can you show me a frame of a constitution that grants duties or gives duties to the people?
You're talking about the amendments. You're talking about
No, I'm talking about the state constitutions. Can you show me any state? I see the judiciary.
Limits the power of the government.
Say it again.
Limits the power of the government.
No, not just limits. It also grants authority. So I see where it says the legislature shall, the executive branch shall, the judiciary shall. Can you show me where it says the people shall and tell them what they can do?
Judiciary. So you're saying the Constitution grants the judiciary.
Not just grants. It grants all the power they have, and it limits the power they have.
So you're saying the courts have this authority.
I'm saying the courts only have what the people said in there. The courts can't do the executive branch work.
So the courts have authority.
Yeah, what we gave them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Courts
that
have
makes
authority.
sense.
So
Executive branch and the legislative does
the
too.
Supreme Court has authority.
That we gave them, yes, sir. Less than us, but what we gave them.
Yeah, we gave them authority, yes.
We gave them
But-
some authority, and we have all political power.
So
Yeah.
when, in your opinion, it's doing something that's not in their authority, then you don't have to listen.
Doesn't the Constitution say we can remove the whole government, including judges, when they do wrong, sir? Isn't that what we got rid of the king for? When he did something, the king has the king's bench, sir, the highest. He had the highest court, and we removed his anus.
So who determines?
The people of America kicked the
What
king
about
on his behind.
What about when the people disagree? Let's say half the people want.
Sir, the people kicked the king on his behind with 3%. Not everybody agreed. And where did he end up? On his behind. That's how America got put here. This is real life, sir. Prohibition. 3% of the people said, screw you and your alcohol junk, and prohibition got knocked down. Women's voting rights. Just a few percent, and women are voting. So, yes, sir, every time the people are higher than the government servants at all times, and courts. There were courts who didn't want black people to be able to practice freely. And the people went against them, and the Supreme Court said, hey, you dummies in the lower court, stop playing. So no, sir, you can't act like courts have all authority. They're servants.
Let's say everyone goes by what you're saying, and
it'd be a lot less corruption.
and everyone gets to decide when the courts are corrupt.
Sir, isn't it our job to tell when our servants are corrupt? If you have a business and the business is not running in order, it's your duty to fix it, right?
But you're assuming that people are good. You're assuming that all people are good and right all the time.
No, I don't.
Okay,
can you show me one time I said that? Quote me saying that one time, please. Actually, I say a lot of people are wrong. I'm not assuming. I say a lot of people are wrong. So okay. I just said people who get abortion are wrong, sir. So how do you... Hold on, wait. We got to stop, sir. We got to stop. You get upset when I correct you. But you just put words in my mouth and said I'm assuming that all people are good when I just said people who get abortion are doing wrong and they should repent, sir. So why do we have to make up stuff in your if questions that I never said? Like, it's really easy to make up something I said and then fight that. It's not really easy to fight what I say when I use the law and what's written.
Yeah, but according to you, you're the authority on the law.
No, sir. I didn't say I'm the authority on the law. I said I can read and I'm part of we the people.
You're saying that you know the law.
I'm saying I know what's written. That's all I'm saying. And if you challenge me on what's written, you'll lose. Because you won't bring anything that's written to go against what I say.
It's your interpretation of the law.
No. Everybody on here can read plain English, sir. And everybody in the comments, I'm sure, are seeing you say stuff that you're not producing something with a definition to say. And I've done it multiple times to say, let me open the book. Let me say what the book said. Or the Constitution of the state said. I'm using what's written, sir. I'm not giving an opinion. I'm not hoping or guessing. I'm telling you what's written. Plain and simple. And you can't challenge what's written
And
because, as you said, you didn't read it.
You don't think that language is imprecise and people can misinterpret.
Sir, I think constitutions are made in plain English.
So you don't
Because plain everyday people wrote. Hold on, sir. Sir, hold on. The beginning Constitution, sir, was not written by the Yale scholar that was a bar attorney, sir. So they're not written all sophisticated.
So
The Constitution. Hold on, let me say, sir. You don't have to tell me what I'm saying. Let me say what I'm saying, and then you'll know. The people who are regular, everyday people wrote constitutions, sir, and they are plain. You said you didn't read the state constitutions. I can take you to the state constitutions, and you can see they're written very plainly. So I'm not interpreting, this is a difficult word.
Why are there so many court cases when it's so plain?
Because we got so many attorneys who don't know this. Like when I talk about the state constitution, hold on, sir. A lawyer,
why there's so many lawsuits?
So there's so many lawsuits because there's a lot of attorneys who have omitted the law and won't tell people the truth, and then they go tell some dumb government official to do something that the government didn't read, and then people get in trouble when they're not really in trouble in many cases.
So let's say I tap you really hard, but you say that I hit you. How do we determine what happened?
We have to have witnesses to establish something that happened, sir. I'm a witness, you're a witness. If there's somebody else, we can establish, like the Bible says, 1 or 2 witnesses establish a fact, right? But sometimes if it's my word against yours, see, if you tap me really hard, right? Or just tap me hard and you didn't hit me, and I say you hit me, see, this is why we have what's in the law already written in the Constitution's 4th Amendment. It tells us that before an warrant can be produced, there has to be an oath or affirmation. Somebody has to swear by affidavit something happened, and there must be probable cause. A cop must be able to come and look and say, look like something probably happened. If it's your word against mine and there's no independent third-party witness, sir, then what ends up happening is the cop looks and says, man, you don't look like you're injured. And then they look at the other person. Did you hit him? Man, I didn't hit that dude. Look at this dude. Do you see any scratches on me? Do you see something on him? Well, no, I don't see anything. Sir, did he hit you? Yeah, he punched me in my jaw with all his force. The cop's going to say, well, it doesn't look like there's probable cause because it doesn't look like he got punched in the jaw with all his force. Let me look. He's pretty light. He doesn't even look like bruised or red. Doesn't even have a scratch. The other guy's knuckles don't look funny. Doesn't look like that really happened. One word against another. Now, if you have an independent third-party witness, the Bible tells you that in the mouth of 1 or 2, you can establish a fact. So, I'm sorry, every word. Please forgive me.
What if you kill someone and there's no witness?
There's a lot of people who kill people, sir, and there's no witnesses. And unless there's some testimony by evidence like your DNA or a camera, then there's a lot of criminals who get off a lot, sir. I'm from Detroit. I've seen a lot of people get shot up, sir, and sometimes they never find out who died. I mean, who killed the person who died. That happens all the time. You have to have a witness. See, this is why criminals and gangsters, a lot of times when you're going to testify and they know you're going to tell on them, they just blow your brains out, and then now you can't testify, so now it's hard for the prosecution to have witnesses. That's why they do that, because they understand the law says you got to have witnesses. That's kind of like part of the American common law. That's why somebody can get in trouble, or somebody can say that somebody raped them. They might have an issue civilly. They might say that, yeah, you were over there and it seemed like something might have happened, but they might not get prosecuted criminally, sir, because there's not enough evidence to show that that really happened, or no independent third-party witness who doesn't have anything to gain. But I would think you know that because you're an attorney.
Well, apparently I don't know anything because all I did was research Supreme Court case opinions.
Well, that's a very bad thing to just research your servant when the people create the textbook of what is right and wrong for the servant. I would think that would be bad. Like, so so if I have a business...
In your ideal world...
Ideal world?
Yeah.
No. Not in my ideal world, sir. In the world that I live in, we have what's called constitutions. And hold on, sir, hold on. We have what's written in real life called constitutions. You want to just deal with Supreme Court cases. That's a world that don't exist in America, sir. We have a constitution that the Supreme Court follows. If you don't want to use the Constitution, that would be a world that's not reality, sir. That would be a dream world. I live in a
Do
world where we have
you
constitutions.
believe that courts will not use Supreme Court case opinions?
I believe that the courts, if you present to them the actual law, then they will make judgments based on the actual law sometimes, unless you got a corrupt judge. Because the maxims of the law tells that there's times that judges will be corrupt and the people need to correct them or remove them.
And you're saying Supreme Court case opinions are not the law, so they're not going to use them.
The Supreme Court case opinions are not law, sir. They're opinion of men who are interpreting what the people or the legislature already says, sir.
Isn't that what you're doing? Isn't this your opinion of the law?
No, sir. I'm just telling you what's written. I'm just telling you what's written. I've quoted tons of books and constitutions.
You're telling me what your opinion is of what's
No,
written.
I'm telling you what's written in the Constitution. I'm telling you what's written. I'm literally saying
You're
this
telling
state constitution
me,
says
but
this.
still your interpretation.
No, I
Language
told,
is imprecise.
sir. I literally,
If I say something is blue, to one person it could be light blue, to another person it could be dark blue.
Sir, that's
How would you know
a
which
funny
blue?
cop out because I just sat here and told you that the Arizona Constitution said in Article 2, Section 8 that the people should not be disturbed in their private affairs or home invaded. Gave you the law and you understood what it meant enough to say, "Oh shucks." You knew
Because
it was
we have a
there.
right to privacy. We have a right to privacy.
But I quoted to you what was there. Where did I tell you? Sir, it is my opinion we have a right to privacy. I quoted you what was written. That's what I did. I quoted a fact to you. Did I not quote a fact, sir? Did I say anywhere what I believe, or did I say it is written here and told you where so you can look at it and say what it said? I didn't say anything about an opinion.
Cases, I agree with you that we have a right.
Sir, it's not about if you agree with me or not. I told you what was written. See, when you use what's written, there's no running, there's no games.
But privacy, what's private? Is inside my home private? Can I step out 1 foot from my doorway? Is that still private?
Sir, if you get naked and go one step outside your doorway where you're open to the public, where you can disturb the public.
Why is that public?
Because the public can see you, sir. You're engaging with the public when you go outside. It's automatic when you go outside.
Where is it written in the Constitution that when I go outside?
Sir, it's written in the law that when you're outside among the people that you can't be.
You only go by the Constitution. Where in the Constitution?
Actually, sir, if you want me to open up the Constitutions, I'll open it up and show you, and then you're going to find what you just said is wrong again. Would you like to go to Massachusetts Constitution? We'll just read the preamble.
That if I go 1 foot outside my
Sir,
doorway,
open up the Massachusetts preamble, and we'll see. Open it up.
You can just tell me.
No, I don't want to just tell you because I could be lying. I want you to read it for yourself. So you open it up on your computer and you see how it says the government works and what the people have to do and what people are bound by.
Massachusetts preamble.
Massachusetts Constitution.
Okay.
Okay, let's go and start from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay, what does it say?
In the preamble.
Uh-huh.
The end of the institution, maintenance, and administration of government is
Okay.
to secure the existence.
Hold on, wait. So it starts out with dealing with the end of the administration of government, the maintenance of government, right? And its institution. So they're instituting government right here. The people are doing it out of their own mouth. Okay, let's go. And I'm doing this because the people got to see this too.
It is to secure the existence of the body politic.
So the duty of the spirit of the Constitution is to protect the body politic, right? That's what it says?
Mm-hmm.
So the members have a duty, right?
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going.
To protect it and to furnish.
To protect it? To protect it?
Compose it. Mm-hmm.
And what do you have to do for the individuals who compose it, sir?
With the power of enjoying in safety and tranquility their.
Whoa. The purpose of this is to make sure that the individuals, the people, have the power to enjoy the body. Body politic deals with the public, sir. The public entity, the state. You have to allow the people who are inside of it to enjoy it with what?
in safety and tranquility.
Safety and tranquility. What does tranquility mean, sir?
You know
Okay,
what
let
it
me.
means.
Okay, so if I walk outside with my penis out in public, is that allowing people to enjoy it in safety and tranquility, sir?
No.
Now, notice, sir, I'm giving you this off the top of my mind.
Well,
I didn't go.
What if you're a nudist and
Sir.
you don't care if people are naked?
That's when you disturb the public peace, sir. You disturb
Why?
the. You disturbed.
What if my neighbor doesn't mind?
Is
naked
not part of our. Then y'all go in the house together and you can get naked all you want to, but you don't do that junk in the public. That's not tranquility, sir. That's not tranquility. But I told you I was going to show you. I didn't. Hold on, sir. I didn't have to look this up. No, according to the American common law, is okay. Where is it in our customs, sir? Where is it in our customs that it says that people go around walking naked, sir? I'll pay you $100 if you show it to me.
Where does it say you can't?
What?
Where does it say you can't?
Read it again, sir, please. Read it again. Because the fundamental principles.
You're saying that you're going to interpret this as saying you can't walk around naked.
Is that allowing people to enjoy their rights, sir, in the private? Do the people have a right? Do the people? Do the people? Do the people? So if somebody walks down the street naked, sir, you're telling me with kids out there's kids out there. You telling me that's okay?
No, I don't care.
No. Are you telling me based on American fundamental law that it is okay to walk around naked in front of kids?
What American fundamental law talks about running around naked?
The maxims, the fundamental law, sir, the principles. Yeah, the maxims. The maxims that Thomas Jefferson says the chiefest said that the government has a duty to make sure that the people follow the law of God, that they keep the law of God. It says it in there. The law of God says don't show your body to somebody who's not yours, sir. That's a fundamental principle. And it says that Christianity is part of the common law. What? It says that in the maxims, in the actual maxims that America was founded upon, that the government swear to, it says it in there, sir. Written by, I can take you to the book, Charles A. Weissman, 1,600 maxims he has.
No, what does it say exactly?
It tells you that the government is here to make sure that the law of God is followed. It says Christianity is part of the common law. The law of God is written in the Bible, sir.
What if I don't follow the Bible?
Then if you don't follow the Bible, that's fine. But if you walk your anus outside with your penis hanging out, you're going to mess around and find out. So that's called decency and order, sir. Let me ask you, is it okay for people to rape kids, sir?
It's completely different.
Is it okay though? Is it okay? So it's okay for your neighbor to show. It's okay for a neighbor to show a little kid their penis, but it's not okay for them to rape little kids. Is that what you're saying? Because you just said I wouldn't have a problem if you want to walk around naked.
So you're saying all nudists are, if you go to like a...
They got nudist camps, sir. They got colonies for that with a whole bunch of grown people who consent. Kids can't consent, sir. Kids can't consent.
So if no one can see me, what if I walk 1 foot?
Sir, in the public, sir, there's people who walk out their door.
Where does it say, as soon as you open your door, you're in the public? Where does it say that?
Sir, the private realm and the public realm, the places open to people I just showed you, is the public.
Mm-hmm.
The
so
places
where does it say that?
Okay, let me get it for you again, sir. I'm gonna get it for you again. It's okay. Just give me a second. I'll get it for you again because... Okay, here we go. A commonwealth. That's what a republic is. Oops.
I'm talking about where does it say that this is a line, that this is private?
Let me show you. It says a commonwealth. Hold on. Where is that? Hold on, let me get this off. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, a commonwealth, that form of government in which the administration of affairs is open to all the citizens. So when it comes to the administration of affairs, it's dealing with the public. The definition, I'm sorry, the etymology, hold on one second. The etymology of the word republic is res publica, which literally means public affairs. The things where the
And
people are involved.
And you think